California wildfire survivor shares story of narrowly saving his own house from Eaton Fire, a miracle.
My family's been here since 1967. I've seen all the fires from the one in 79, 80 as a kid, right up through 92, the station fire, the Bobcat fire, tons of fires on this hillside. When I saw this one, I came out in the street and I saw the flames up on the hillside. Something just told me this was different. I really got frightened. And I started to think what I needed to do, prepare for it. Then my tree caught on fire here, this palm tree. And I've never, in all the fires, never had one of our trees catch on fire. And that was the one that really said, oh, okay, we're in big trouble. So I got my dogs and my family members, we loaded them into the Tahoe and drove out, and I circled around several times and I noticed that nobody was going to put the palm tree out. So I put someone else behind the wheel and I stayed the whole night and I fought the fire, and I have the video, it's some incredible video here, but I thought my house many times was going to go from 8 o'clock in the evening till 12 noon. This house here that burned next to me was the last one that put me in danger. When that one finally calmed down, I had the hose on it, and I felt that it wasn't going to catch my house on fire. I had a little sense of relief. But in the days following, the next day, there was a garage 2 doors over went up, and this is a day after the fire. So it's just shocking. It's heartbreaking. It's just enough to make you want to cry. So many people have just lost everything. And I never ever thought, we've been here for so long, I never thought the fire, I always thought we were just far enough out of the fire's reach. 2 large blocks away from the hillside, in some cases 3 large blocks. But this fire's gone way past us and damaged things miles down, right down to the 210 freeway. I could hear the fire coming. I saw each house one at a time going up. The sound was incredible. The breaking glass, the explosions from gas lines, people's propane tanks, cars catching on fire. It just sounded like several freight trains coming at you. And it's a miracle that I got a hold of the fire. I got a hold of the fire around me. The wind died down at one opportune time, and if it hadn't, while this house is burning, if the wind had kept going, it would have caught this trellis I have next to me with bougainvillea on it. It would have caught my house on fire and I would have been done. And there were several times when I wanted to leave, but I didn't. I stayed. If I had left, the house would be gone, totally gone.
Justin Christie is pictured in front of a view of damaged structures and homes caused by the Eaton wildfires in the Altadena neighborhood of Los Angeles. The auditorium at Elliott Junior High is barely recognizable after being ravaged by wildfire in Altadena, Calif, on Friday. Christie explained that his family has lived in the area since 1967 and had never seen anything as destructive as the Eaton fire before. "I've seen tons of fires on this hillside," Christie recalled. When I came out in the street and I saw the flames up on the hillside, something just told me this was different. I really got frightened, and I started to think about what I needed to do to prepare for it." Christie said that he was especially alarmed after seeing one of his palm trees catch on fire, which had never happened before. He quickly got all of his family members into his car and drove them away from the scene. "I've never, in all the fires, never had one of our trees catch on fire," he said. And that was the one that really said, "Okay, we're in big trouble." Christie later drove by to check on the status of his house. When he realized no one was going to extinguish the fire on his palm tree, Christie decided to put matters into his own hands and fight the fire himself. "I thought my house, many times, was going to go," he recalled. From 8 in the evening to 12 o'clock noon. This house here, that burned next to me, was the last one that was to put me in danger. When that one finally calmed down, I had a little sense of relief. But Christie said that that sense of relief was short-lived before another neighbor of his suffered a fire in their garage. Though Christie's house was unscathed from that fire, The resident described the whole situation as just shocking. It's heartbreaking. It's just enough to make you want to cry, Christy said. So many people just lost everything. And I never, ever thought we've been here for so long. I always thought we were just far enough out of the fire's reach. When thinking back to the experience, Christy described the sounds and sights of the wildfires as incredible. The breaking glass, the explosions from gas lines, people's propane tanks, cars catching on fire, he vividly described. It just sounded like several freight trains coming at you. Overall, Christy said that his house's survival from the Eaton fire was nothing short of a miracle. It was some miracle that I got a hold of the fire. The wind died down at one opportune time, he said. And if it hadn't, it would have caught the trellis I have next to me, it would have caught my house on fire and I would have been done. And there were several times when I wanted to leave, but I didn't. I stayed. If I had left, the house would be gone. Totally gone.